Herrington. It's pretty good.
Oh, that's all right. But a lot of your writings have meant a great deal to me, and for one song in particular that you wrote has been largely responsible for a lot of the success I've had lately. Shell wrote A Boy Named Sue, among other things. Well, it was Gatlinburg in mid-July, and I just hit town and my throat was dry. Thought I'd stop and have myself a brew at an old saloon on a street of mud.
There at a table, dealing studs, a dirty, mangy hound who named me Sue.
Well, I knew that snake was my own sweet dad from a worn-out picture that my mother had. I knew that scar on his cheek and his evil eye.
He was kind of bent, gray and old. I looked at him, my blood run cold. I said,
my name is Sue. How do you do? Now you're gonna die. Kill the scene.
My daddy left home when I was 3. He didn't leave much for my ma and me, just this old guitar and an empty bottle of booze. Now I don't blame him cause he run and hid, but the meanest thing that he ever did was before he left, he went and named me Sue. Well, he must have thought that it was quite a joke. Got lots of laughs from lots of folks. Seems I had to fight my whole life through. Some guy would giggle and I'd get red, and some guy'd laugh and I'd bust his head. I tell you, life ain't easy for a boy named Sue. Well, I grew up quick and I grew up mean. My fists got hard, my wits got keen. I'd roam from town to town to hide my shame. But I made a vow to the moon and stars that I'd search the honky-tonks and bars and kill that man that gave me that awful name. Well, it was Gatlinburg in mid-July, and I just hit town and my throat was dry, and I thought I'd stop and have myself a brew at an old saloon on a street of mud. There at a table dealing studs at the dirty mangy dog that named me Sue. Well, I knew that snake was my own sweet dad from a worn-out picture that my mother had, and I knew that scar on his cheek and his evil eye. He was big and bent and gray and old, and I looked at him and my blood ran cold, and I said, my name is Sue. How do you do? Now you're gonna die. Yeah, that's what I told him. Well, I hit him hard right between the eyes, and he went down, but to my surprise, come up with a knife and cut off a piece of my ear. But I busted a chair right across his teeth, and we crashed through the wall and into the street, kicking in a gouging mud and the blood and the beer. I tell you, I fought tougher men, but I really can't remember when. He kicked like a mule and he bit like a crocodile. I heard him laugh and then I heard him cuss, and he went for his gun and I pulled mine first, and he just stood there looking at me, and I saw him smile, and he said, son, this world is rough, and if a man's gonna make it, he's gonna be tough. And I knew I wouldn't be there to help you along, so I gave you that name and I said goodbye, and I knew you'd have to get tough or die, and it's that name that helped to make you strong. He said, now you just fought one hell of a fight. No, you hate me and you got the right to kill me now, and I wouldn't blame you if you do. But you ought to thank me before I die for the gravel in your guts and the spit in your eye, 'cause I'm the son of a gun that named you Sue. I got all chucked up and threw down my gun, and I called my pa and he called me a son, and came away with a different point of view. And I think about him now and then, every time I try and every time I win. And if I ever have a son, I think I'm gonna name him Bill or George or any damn thing but Sue. You know, I still hate that name.